for your patience, folks. And at this time, we're going to take some Q&A at this particular point, because I know I didn't cover everything for everyone, and throughout the cooperation and the communication NMYAFL wants to provide to everyone, I do want to get some questions answered so you can feel, or at least leave this particular venue and know that you've got a good understanding of where we're coming from. One of the key questions we get constantly is, what does the $150 registration fee pay for, and do we have to buy our own equipment? The registration fee pays for the use of the helmet, shoulder pads, pants, pads, one mouthpiece. You get to keep your game jersey and pants. I want to emphasize, the only items parents/guardians need to provide for their young man or young lady are shoes, cleats. Only rubber cleats are allowed, no removable cleats, socks, an athletic supporter or cup, and a practice jersey. Other fees may assist with the league overhead, referee fees, field acquisition costs, and equipment. And that's where that $150 ties into. A dovetail or a piggyback to that question is, after I pay my registration fee, are there any other fees involved? This one, in the 18 years that I've been involved with NMYAFL, gets a little misconstrued, so we want to get that out to you. Each coach can require up to $28.50 per player. That is it. $28.50 per player. And that is also at the discretion of the coach. Doesn't necessarily have to, but the only additional money that a coach can ask you for is $28.50. Now, since each team is required, or each head coach is required to secure a $650 sponsorship fee, these particular monies, like I said before, go towards our referees, our equipment, and help running the league. Now, the question always comes up is, we want socks, colored socks, we want additional things. And we at NMYAFL have no parameters of what you can have, but if you're going to have them, those methods of purchasing special items from teams, like jackets and hats, that is done through the fundraising process. There is a caveat on fundraising. Fundraising cannot start until a final roster consolidation is done. And that is generally the first week of July. Until that point, there can be no fundraising done on the behalf of any particular team. And a final closing in regards to fundraising and funds. The $650 that is raised by the coach for a sponsorship, the individual that does sponsor your team is eligible for a tax exemption or whatever he needs to do with his accountant. Fundraising money is not tax exempt, and you will not get NMYAFL's tax ID number. You can't, it is not something, because it is not, the monies that come directly to NMYAFL, meaning goes to the office, yes, we can afford you information you can take to your accountant or you file on your taxes. But your fundraising dollars are not part of any type of exemption. Another question that comes up quite often is, do we ever let kids play for a team that is not in their boundary or in their districts? As a parent, you can fill out a request to play out of district form at the time of registration, requesting that your child be placed on a team inside of his home district up until team consolidation. At that time, all out-of-district requests are reviewed. We cannot and we will not guarantee any out-of-district requests forms at the time of registration, and we will not guarantee any player will play on any team. Coaches cannot and do not have any input on where a child will play. Please note, the league reserves the right to make changes based on the needs of the league or a team, not a parent's desire to play on a particular team. Moving players from a team with fewer players to a team with more players is not a league policy. There is a protocol and there is a procedure, and they're all case by case, and they will all be decided by the board of directors. How old does your child need to be to play football? And can I register my 6-year-old for football? No, for the 6-year-old. In order to play football with Young American Football League, your child must be 7 by September 1st of the football season and no older than 14 and in the 8th grade. Please note, if your child is in the 8th grade, will turn 15 before December 31st of that year, of the current year, he or she will not be eligible to participate. Regardless of age, your child cannot participate in New Mexico YAFL if he or she is in high school. When will I know what team my child is on? No team rosters are final until team consolidation. Final consolidation days. Once rosters are final, coaches are notified and players are contacted. Any contact prior to final consolidated roster is allowed for coaches to encourage players to attend camps, encourage physical activity, running exercises. Once again, no practice, however, allowed to happen prior to the first day of practice, as determined by the league. Now, you may have gotten a phone call from a coach to tell you about equipment issue. He is calling you as a representative of YAFL. There's no final rosters yet. That is generally slated for July. So it's a good idea, and there's probably a possibility, depending on your registration number, but you're not locked in when you get a call, say May, June, and before consolidation. If my child doesn't like football, cheer, or we're unhappy with our team later, can we quit and get a refund? The answer to that question is, once again, is no. All registration fees are non-refundable. However, to continue to grow and strive for excellence, we really, really need your input. Fill out a parent evaluation form and turn it in immediately. Many times we don't know what kind of experience what's going on until the next year, and it doesn't help anyone. So what we're basically saying is, yes, we're firm on the non-refundable or the refund. But if there is a problem that you're unhappy with a coach or you're unhappy with a situation, we, YAFL, needs to know about this as soon as possible so we can make corrective steps and help you and your family, and most importantly, your son or daughter. So please let us know what's going on in your particular experience.